I've been running LinkedIn ads for the last 10 years, and honestly, I made every mistake you can possibly make on this platform. I burned through budgets on the wrong campaigns, I've set up targeting that made no sense, I've written ads that nobody cared about, but through all of those mistakes, and by working with dozens of B2B companies at this point, I figured out what actually works. And now, through my software Fibbler, we track results for over 350 active advertisers, so I basically got a front row seat to the biggest wins and the most expensive mistakes happening on LinkedIn ads right now. So in this video, I'm distilling all of this experience into the most important strategies you need in order to crush it with LinkedIn ads today and make it a profitable channel for your business. So let's dive in. Alright, let's start with lesson number 1. LinkedIn ads is not a direct response channel, and I know that sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. Most people set up their first campaign with a book a demo button pointed at cold audience. Then they get frustrated when only 0.04% of people click, and they think LinkedIn ads doesn't work. But here's what's actually happening. The average B2B buying journey today is 192 days and involves something over 62 touch points. Your buyers aren't seeing your ad once and immediately booking a demo. They're seeing your ads over and over again, over weeks, over months. They're remembering your brand, and when they're finally ready to buy, they go to Google, they search for your brand, or they just type the URL into their browsers. So stop trying to force people into immediate conversions from people who don't know you yet. LinkedIn is the best B2B awareness channel in the world, but it's not direct response, so don't use it that way. And before I continue, if you want to learn more about how to make LinkedIn ads a profitable channel for your business, make sure you subscribe to my channel, as I'll be sharing a ton of helpful content over here over the next weeks. Lesson 2. Keep your targeting broader than most experts recommend. Everyone wants to narrow down to only decision makers. They add 10 different filters trying to find the perfect buyer, and they end up with around 5,000 people and wonder why their CPMs are insane. Here's what I do for the LinkedIn ads I'm running for my company Fibbler. I target company size, in my case 50 to 500 employees. I target software and tech companies, as that is our main ICP, and then I target job titles, but I keep it broad. Demand gen managers, head of marketing, marketing ops. I'm aiming to be somewhere around 20 to 50,000 people minimum, and I know LinkedIn ads targeting isn't perfect. I know that head of marketing as a title includes hundreds of different variations, but that is fine because there's so many influencers in the buying process. You're not just the final decision maker. It's the people who will champion your solution internally, and when you target too narrow, you miss all of them. So keep it broader than you think you should. Lesson 3. Always start with the website visit objective. LinkedIn gives you a bunch of different objectives: brand awareness, engagement, lead gen, conversions, and so on. It's tempting to always jump straight to conversions, right? But I always start with the website visit. It sits kind of in the middle, it balances awareness with intent, but most importantly, it makes measurement way easier down the road. You can then compare results across different campaigns when they're all using the same objective. And once you have the data and you know what's working, then you can test other objectives. But start here. Lesson 4. Never use maximum delivery bidding. This one's simple, but it will save you a ton of money. Maximum delivery sounds helpful because LinkedIn promised to get you the most results for your budget, but in reality, it just spends your money faster and faster and faster than it needs to. Here's what I do instead. I use manual bidding, and I always set my bid at 2/3 of whatever LinkedIn recommends. So if LinkedIn says bid 30, I bid $20. Then I check once or twice a week to make sure I'm still spending my full daily budget, and almost every time I get the same result at a lower cost. It's that simple. Lesson 5. The 5 settings you must change before you spend a single dollar on LinkedIn ads. First, change your location targeting from recent or permanent to permanent location only. By default, LinkedIn will show your ads to anyone who's recently visited your target location. So if someone's on a business trip, you could pay $10 for a click from someone who's flying home tomorrow. Don't do that. Second, turn off audience expansion. This makes LinkedIn show your ads to people similar to your targeting, but you don't want similar. You want people you actually selected. And third, disable audience network. This puts your ads on random third-party sites outside of LinkedIn, and sure, you get cheaper impressions maybe, but they're way lower quality. Fourth, exclude your own company, your competitors, and their existing customers. This seems obvious, but there's a lot of people that forgets this. And fifth, exclude companies and titles that are completely outside your ICP. As I said, LinkedIn's targeting isn't perfect, so this prevents ways to spend on people people who will never buy from you. Lesson number 6. Emotion is the key to creating ads that people remember. Your ad copy shouldn't start with features or benefits, it should start with something your audience already feels. Make them nod before you ever mention your product. Say something bold enough that they have to keep reading, and always write like nobody's ever heard of you before. Because most people haven't, honestly. Here's an example. Instead of using like, our platform helps you track LinkedIn ads ROI, try your boss LinkedIn ads doesn't work because this and that. Here's Fibbler to solve that for you. Feel the difference? One is information and the other one hits an emotion. Lesson number 7. Unique branding beats clever copy every single time. Everyone wants to create the perfect ad with the perfect headline, but honestly, that's not what makes people remember you. What makes them remember you is seeing your logo, your colors, your visual style, your mascot over and over and over and over again. And these are called distinctive brand assets, and they need to show up in every single ad you run. Let me give you a real life example from my company Fibbler. So when we made our pink lion mascot, it was a total mistake creating it in the first place, but it has been the best thing we ever done. We've even created it into a plushie that kids could play with, right? It wasn't really about branding or merch, it was about creating something recognizable that people would remember us by. We even brought them to our first event as a vendor at LinkedIn's B2 Believe in London, and at the first time it was very slow. A few people walked by our booth, smiled at the pink lions, maybe took one, but then something happened. Someone in the audience carried one, another saw them again, more people started coming to the booth to pick up these pink lions, and suddenly people started, I saw someone with this lion, can I get one too? And that pink lion became our distinctive brand asset, and people now associate it with Fibbler immediately, and that's the power of having something visual and consistent that shows up in your ads as well. Lesson 8. Brand searches are your real success metric. Most people don't pay attention to this, but it's actually one of the most important indicators that your LinkedIn ads are working. At Fibbler, our branded search grew 5x in 12 months. I mean, that didn't happen by accident. It happened because people kept seeing our ads, remembered our brand, and when they were ready to learn more, they went straight to Google and they searched for us. So if your brand searches aren't growing while you're running LinkedIn ads, something is wrong. Either your messaging isn't memorable, or your distinctive brand assets aren't strong enough, or you're not running ads consistently enough for people to remember you. So track your branded searches in Google Search Console or your analytics platform and watch them grow month over month over month. That's proof that your awareness is building. That's proof that when your buyers enter the market, they'll think of you first. Lesson 9. The attribution gap is killing your campaigns. And this is probably the biggest problem in LinkedIn advertising right now. There's only 0.04% of people that are actually clicking LinkedIn ads. So if you're only measuring clicks or conversion, you're missing out on 99.6% of your audience, right? And here's what really happens. Companies see your ads week after week after week. They remember your brand. And when they are ready to buy, they don't click your ad. They go to Google or an LLM and search for your brand. Your CRM records say that it's direct traffic or organic search, and you have no idea that LinkedIn drove that deal. So you look at your LinkedIn campaign dashboard and think it's not working, and then you cut the budget. But it was working. You just weren't measuring it correctly, right? You need to track influence attribution, influence pipeline, and influence revenue. Which companies viewed or engaged with your campaigns, and did any of those companies turn into deals in your CRM? That's what actually matters, not who clicked. And this is exactly why we built Fibbler. It connects your LinkedIn ads to your CRM and shows which campaigns are actually influence pipeline and revenue, not just which ones are getting clicks. If you want to give it a try for free, just click the link below. And lesson 10, patience wins. We don't close deals at Fibbler from someone clicking our ad and immediately signing up for a free trial. That's not how it works. They see our content over time, and then they come by our site, they try the product, they love it, then they buy, and this process takes weeks or months or years, not hours. I've seen this play out, not just at Fibbler, but at my previous company GetAccept too. When we shifted to a proper demand gen strategy, our total lead volume actually dropped by somewhere around 30%, and you know what happened? Companies started to panic. Everyone wanted to revert back to the old ways, but we stuck with it, and you know what we saw? We've never seen more high intent demo requests. Over time, more deals created, more pipeline generated, more revenue coming in from marketing. And the lesson here is simple. Things take time. If you optimize for short-term conversions and high lead volume, you'll give up too early. LinkedIn ads is a long game, the results compound, and the companies that understand that, the ones that have patience to see it through, are the ones that win big. Now, if you want to finally see the full impact of your LinkedIn ads and stop having budget conversations based on gut feel, you can start using Fibbler completely free for 30 days, no credit card required. Just click the first link in the description to get started. And if you want to see my full guide on how to run LinkedIn ads that actually work, then watch this video next.